What's up, everyone? Welcome to the channel. Today I am going to be reviewing Dutton Ranch episode 3. You guys are going to get 2 videos from me on this channel today. You guys are going to get my Dutton Ranch episode 3 review in this video, and later on today you guys are going to get my review of Dutton Ranch episode 4. This show is incredible. So before I start the review, please subscribe, like, and share this video if you enjoy this content. And the second thing I want to say is one of my goals that I have for myself is to be an actor one day. So I study all sorts of different TV shows, stage plays, audiobooks, video games. I study all things where actors are involved, right? I love all facets of entertainment. One of my goals is to be an actor one day. And one of the ways that I do that is by studying great actors and great performances, with which this show has, and it has an abundance, and it's very, 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 very good. So I come at this as a guy. This review comes from a guy that wants to be an actor one day, and that loves watching performances and watching how they move and watching how they talk and watching how they embody these characters. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. And yeah, so episode 3. So episode 1 and 2 was probably the best pilot to a season. Probably a best premiere of a season of all time, right? One of the best premieres of a season or of a new series of all time. This show really captures the tone of what Yellowstone is, and what Yellowstone was. What Yellowstone was. Like, you have Rip lying to Beth, right? And I'm very interested to see where that storyline goes, because she's not gonna like being lied to. You have the Ariana and Carter storyline, and I love how much they focus on Carter in this show, right? Like, Carter's basically the third main character of this show. You have Rip, Beth, and Carter being the 3 main characters of this show. And then we really get to see, like, more of the new characters in this show, in this episode. Like, we already know, like, we know from the first 2 episodes that the Jackson family are very bad people and very mischievous people, and very, like, Beulah's used to getting what she wants, and you can just tell when she walks in the room that she means business and she's gonna get what she wants. She kind of reminds me of an older version of Beth, just not as crazy, right? But we'll see, because we're still early in the season and we're still early in this series. The thing that I like about this show is we get to see more layers of these characters than we've ever gotten before. Now, these characters have always been layered. Like, Yellowstone was written by one of the best writers of media ever, in Taylor Sheridan, right? This is written. Taylor is still an executive producer on Marshall's and on this show. But he doesn't write these shows. He got other people to write them. And I say that this show really embodies what Yellowstone was and does its own thing with it as well. Like, it's not a Yellowstone copy. It pays homage to Yellowstone, and you still have the same great characters and stuff like that. But you also have a lot of new characters and a lot of new dimensions to Rip and Beth and Carter than we've seen before, right? Like, in these 3 episodes so far, because I haven't seen episode 4 yet, right? In these 3 episodes, we get a more calm, collected Beth. We don't get crazy Beth. We get a more calm, collected, like, strategist style Beth, right? And I'm assuming everybody that's watching this video has seen Yellowstone, and so, like, in this episode, like, you have Beth going to Dallas to make a business arrangement um with um um with a hotel. I think it's a hotel chain, right? A restaurant chain and a hotel chain, so she can sell like steaks, so she can make a revenue stream for Rip and her and Carter, Rip, her, and Carter's ranch, right? Because remember, guys, like Rip and Beth and Carter are new to Texas. Like, yes, they know how to run a ranch, and yes, they know how to get shit done, but they are still new to Texas, right? So, like, the 10 Petal Ranch, so Beulah Jackson's ranch, has been the top ranch in Texas, it seems like, in the Yellowstone universe for years. As in Paloma, I think the town's called. In Paloma, Texas, there's there's the there's the Dutton Ranch, which they're still trying to build up, and they're still trying to 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 um to make their footprint known here. And then there's the 10 Petal Ranch. And the 10 Petal Ranch, the Jackson family really reminds me of some things of what the Duttons will do. Like Joaquin, who's Beulah's son, technically, um, really reminds me of Jamie Dutton. And if you've watched my Yellowstone reviews, you know how much I dislike the Jamie Dutton character because Taylor Sheridan wrote him that way. I think Jamie Dutton is one of the best villains of any series. So if Joaquin is like that, like, he's not a copy of Jamie Dutton, I'm not saying that, but he reminds me of Jamie Dutton mixed with like the smartness of like Casey or Beth, right? Because Jamie Dutton wasn't very, like, he was smart, but like when it got to the later seasons, like, he was very impulsive. So Joaquin to me seems like a mix between Jamie Dutton and somebody who's very tactical and very strategic about what they do and stuff like that. So I'm very interested to see where that storyline goes. We get to find more out about Zachariah. So Zachariah, so if you guys remember, Rip picked him up from prison in episode 1. In episode 1, I think, or it was either episode 1 or episode 2, right? They blend together for me because I basically see them as one long episode because they both premiered at the same time. So Zachariah, Rip picked him up from prison, but Rip didn't know what he did, right? And all we knew about Zachariah before this episode was he did a really bad thing, but now he's found God and now he's a changed man, right? And but he still feels a ton of guilt for what he did. Now we find out in this episode what Zachariah did, because we've seen Zachariah and Azul, I think that's how you pronounce the other ranch hand's name in the show. I hope I'm not butchering that name. I think it's Azul, that's how you pronounce it. You've seen their friendship. We've seen their friendship. But we find out what Zachariah did. So Zachariah killed a woman, right? A long time ago. And Rip, and this is when I'm talking about seeing different sides of characters. Like, we have seen the soft side of Rip and the soft side of Beth before, but this, like, there's a scene in this episode where Cole Hauser, who plays Rip, shows that Rip has more layers than just be a badass. And people that have watched Yellowstone know that Rip has more layers. But, like, that's what I love about this show. It focuses on these 3 characters, Carter, Rip, and Beth, right? That's what I love about Marshall is it focuses on Casey, and stuff like that. So, right, like with all the Duttons having their own shows now, like it gives the writers of these shows more time to flesh out more time to flesh out these characters when they've already been fleshed out, because they've already been fleshed out. Like we know um what they are, we know how they are, we know how they um how we know their DNA basically, but it gives the writers of this show more layers, and it gives the actors of this show more layers to play with, right? Because I see a character, right? I told you guys I want to be an actor one day. I see playing a character as like peeling back an onion, right? The more layers to that character, the better, right? And that's what this show does. That's what this show, and that's what Marshall's, and that's what the Madison, and that's what any show or any video game or any movie that Taylor Sheridan's involved with. That's what all of his shows and movies do, in my opinion. They give the characters depth. They give the actors really deep characters to play with, right? And stuff like that. So anyway, we get to see Rip basically calm down this woman named Anna, and at first Rip's like, "What the fuck is going on? Yeah, what the fuck is going on?" Uh, like like and he comes rushing over, and then he sees this woman pointing a gun at Zachariah, and he's like, "What did he do, ma'am? What did he do?" And then he's like, "Azul, put the gun down," right? And because you can see this woman that I think her name is Anna. Yeah, Anna. Anna's heartbroken for some reason. Like she has the gun pointed at Azul, but I mean not at Azul, at Zachariah, and she's heartbroken. And then Rip's like, "Ma'am, I run this ranch. What did he do?" Right? Because again, Rip just picked him up from prison, right? And so he doesn't know what Azul's done, right? And she's like, Azul. I mean, not Azul. Zachariah. Sorry, he doesn't know what Zachariah's done. And like, he just knows Zachariah is kind of on a redemption path, right? So what happens is Zachariah is like, "Rip, it's my redemption," and he tells Zachariah to shut the fuck up, and he gets the woman Anna to tell him what Zachariah did, and she's like, "He killed my daughter," and Rip basically gives her like a hug, and he's like, "I understand where you're coming from. If somebody hurt the ones that I love," which we've seen Rip do this in Yellowstone, if you've watched Yellowstone. If you hurt the ones that I love, I go after you with a vengeance, right? What season 2 of Yellowstone, where Rip basically kills a whole room of guys that kidnapped Beth on his own. It's one of the most badass scenes on TV, but it also shows their romance, and it also shows how Rip really, really cares for people, right? And so like, Rip's like, "I understand if it was somebody that I love that somebody took from me, I would do exactly what you're doing now. But here's the the maturity and the growth of the maturity of Rip." He's like, "Would your daughter Teresa really want this?" And she's like, "No." And and the only person that would probably want this is Zachariah, because it gives him peace, right? And you can tell that whoever's playing Zachariah in this show is a great actor, because Zachariah, like, he's devastated, right? Because he does feel guilty for what he's done. Like, he's not like, I didn't do that, right? No, he's taken responsibility for it, and he's found God now, so he's on his redemption path. And he and then Rip basically gives her a hug and is like calming her down, and then Everett takes her back to town, because Everett's like the town vet in Plahoma. I think that's how you say it, Plahoma. And and um and and yeah, so Everett Rip calms Anna down, takes the gun out of her hands, and then because Rip gives people chances. Like, if you've seen Yellowstone, like, all the people that were branded, like Jimmy and the ranch hands that worked on Yellowstone, basically under Rip and under the Dutton family, he gave them all second chances, right? But if you did something really bad under Rip's watch, there were consequences, right? Like, Rip's a good man, right? That's done a lot of bad things, right? And so for me, my favorite line in the episode is he basically turns to Zachariah and is like, "Those prayers better not be for show. If they are for show, I'll shoot you myself," right? And that's Rip basically saying, I'm giving you a second chance, but if you're being fake about how you found God and stuff like that, I will end you myself, right? And that's just a badass line, bro. And then you also have the Rip and Beth's herd getting sick, and Rip having to deal with that, and that will have ongoing consequences throughout the show, I'm assuming. And then you have um, you have you have the Rip lying to Beth storyline, which I'm very interested to see what happens. You have Carter. We get to see the more rebel side of Carter now, right? Carter's storyline is he goes and meets Ariana, who's Beulah's niece. So it's kind of like a Romeo and Juliet story between Carter and Ariana right now, right? And they and Ariana's like, "Hey, my boyfriend, he um he was a dick again. He got in a fight, right, again." And this boyfriend that Ariana's got likes to do things. He likes to be a coward, basically, if you know what I mean. So then Carter goes, like, Ariana takes him to where her boyfriend's truck is, and she's like, "Carter, I want you to save me," basically. She wants Carter to be her boyfriend, basically. That's what she's saying. At least that's what I believe is happening, because they have sex at the end of the episode. So, so like, for me, one of my other favorite scenes, because I find it funny. I wasn't expecting, like, some of the scenes in this show are very dark, and some of the scenes are very, like, if you know Yellowstone, you know its tone is gonna be like, it has a bit of everything. It has a bit of, like, comedy, it has a bit of happiness, it has a lot of, like, dark shit that happens in it, but, like, all the well, not all the characters, but, like, most of the main characters have good redeeming qualities about them, right? So trust me when I say what Carter does to this guy's truck is well deserved. Because the guy that Carter does this to. He pisses on Ariana's ex's truck. And then Ariana smashes the windows and stuff like that. And then Carter's basically turning into a bad boy, which we'll see what Rip and Beth think about that. I'm very interested to see Mom Beth and Father Rip, because those are some of my favorite scenes from Yellowstone when Rip and Beth are being parental figures to this kid, right? I'm very interested to see if we get more scenes of that. And overall, guys, this was a great episode. This was a great episode. This episode really impressed me. And again, guys, stay tuned for later today when I review episode 4 of Dutton Ranch Season 1. And yeah, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day, and God bless you guys.